Despite having a 100-pound lymphedema mass between his legs and being the second heaviest person ever in my 600-pound life, weighing close to 900 pounds, JT managed to lose a huge amount of weight and look like a totally different person by the end of his journey. But for the weight loss though, JT was close to eating himself to death as he ate some of the craziest meals I've ever seen on the show, all while using his lymphedema mass as a table to eat from.
Every day of my life is pretty much the same. I wake up and eat. And I try to keep eating for as long as I can because it's what I live for now. And it's all I want to do. And I can't start my day until I've had something. So when my girlfriend Jessica wakes up, she usually gets up before me and heads out. But she never leaves me without leaving something I like by the bed. Nothing else I can do can compete with how good it feels to be eating.
Because food comforts me better than people can. And it's the only thing that brings me back to at peace or at center.
So why would I even want that to end? Even when it feels like it's too much for my body to hold.
When I'm done eating, sometimes I feel miserable just because I'm so full that I can't move.
Now, I know what everyone's thinking, and just before we start, let's clear it up. No, that isn't his nutsack. It's a lymphedema mass, which is a buildup of fat, swelling, and liquid, and it's just in a very unfortunate position in his body. Anyway, JT starts his day with 3 pizzas, probably pre-ordered from the night before, ready for when he wakes up, as I don't think anywhere delivers that many pizzas so early in the morning. After this breakfast, JT attempts to wash himself, which he only does once a week, which is probably why he literally has flies landing on him. But JT has been gaining weight rapidly over the past few years, and every time he tries to get up out of bed, it gets harder. If he doesn't change soon, he probably won't be able to get up anymore at all, and will have to be washed directly in his bed.
But as hard as it is, getting up out of bed is the easy part. Because not only do I have all the weight of my body pulling down on me, I also have severe lymphedema on my left leg.
I can't walk properly because my lymphedema pushes against both of my legs.
It hurts constantly.
And I can only stand for maybe 15 minutes at a time.
My size and my lymphedema make it hard to fit in most places anymore. I can barely get in the bathroom and sit on the toilet. And if I get any bigger, I won't be able to. And I'm scared of what I'm gonna do when it gets to that point.
JT can barely wear normal clothes anymore, and you can see from all of the holes in his shorts that his body is literally pulling them apart. These are probably the only clothes he has left that fit him. Eventually, if he keeps gaining, JT will just have to be draped in a sheet like many of the other patients, as clothes just won't be an option anymore. His lymphedema mass, which likely weighs more than 100 pounds itself, comes with a lot of complications too, and JD has to keep it clean but also manage the swelling.
I can't take a shower in a normal tub. I have to have a stand-in shower because it would be just impossible for me to lift my left leg over the rim of the tub.
But because I have to stand,
I can't stay in the shower for too long.
it just hurts too much. And to make it even worse,
I can't be in water for too long because it's bad for my lymphedema.
the hot water makes the swelling worse. And then it starts to burn.
It's in there, scrub the most stinky parts, and then out. I can wash everything on my body from about my waist up. When it gets to my leg and down below my leg, it's almost impossible.
So I do as much as I can, and then I get out before it gets too bad. But I'm very limited at this point.
I'm beyond scared to get to a point where I can't take a shower myself. And I can't. It terrifies me to get to that far.
His clothes are so worn that it just makes me feel bad for him. It's not just his size, but the lymphedema mass makes it so awkward to find anything that fits.
But at my size, I don't have many outfit options. I have one pair of pants that fit me still because of how big my leg is, and just a couple of shirts that fit, but they're getting really worn down at this point. And if I get any bigger, they'll either get to be too small or just completely fall apart. Then I think my only option to cover myself would be a blanket, which will be a whole different level of embarrassment for me that I'm scared of. But even with all I'm afraid of happening soon because of how big I'm getting, I still can't stop doing what's causing it.
And it's no wonder why JT's gained weight so rapidly, as his portion sizes are just completely out of control.
My portion sizes are very large.
We get large serving sizes of things, and I'll just make the whole thing. You know, the whole can of biscuits and all the sausage patties. I'll eat it all, and I won't stop until it's all gone. So you know Jessica has to go shop just about every other day to keep food in the house, because my appetite keeps growing, and I constantly need a supply of food so I can keep eating and keep that feeling I need going. And nothing in my life can compete with how food makes me feel. Not anything. Eating is better than sex for me, and every time I take a bite, it's like I'm transported to this other world where there's no pain, There's no sadness, there's no judgment. There's only peace and joy, and all that comes with food. So I can't even imagine my life without it, because it is my life. It's what I'm living for and why I get up. If I'm awake, I'm either eating or waiting to eat. And if I'm asleep, I'm dreaming of eating. So it's all I think about and want.
Now, his breakfast is completely insane. He has an entire packet of frozen sausage patties, loads of eggs, about 6 or 7 biscuits, and it's insane that he was able to eat all of this in one go. And the fact that his girlfriend Jessica has to restock the fridge and cupboards every other day because JT eats everything that quickly is just unimaginable. And not to mention the cost. JT's eaten hundreds, if not thousands of dollars of food every single week and month. Before we look at the effect this eating has on JT and his girlfriend, I quickly want to thank the sponsor of this video, CyberGhost VPN. Now, with over 38 million users worldwide and over 20,000 excellent reviews on Trustpilot, it's one of the most trusted and best VPNs available on the market at the moment. So let me tell you why CyberGhost is such a great choice, especially if you're in the UK like I am. A VPN is now essential for protecting your digital privacy. Plenty of eyes are watching you every time you go online, and even incognito mode doesn't prevent that. Your service provider, your school, your work's IT department, even your home Wi-Fi router, they can all track what you do online, and that's where CyberGhost VPN comes in. Simply select one of their over 100 locations before you browse to encrypt and reroute all of your traffic through their secure servers. This way, no one will even know about your online activity. CyberGhost also unlocks geo-restricted games and content from over 40 streaming platforms like Netflix, Amazon Prime, and Disney+. And you can even find better deals online by simply changing your virtual location. It works on all major devices and operating systems: Windows, macOS, Android, iOS, and you can even protect up to 7 devices at the same time. Perfect for sharing with your friends and family. And with my link in the description, you can get their best deal ever. You can sign up at just $2.03 a month, plus 4 months for free, which is 84% off. There's even a 45-day money-back guarantee, so you have literally nothing to lose by trying it. It's a great product, and by signing up using my link in the description, not only can you help me create more videos like this one, but you can keep yourself safe online too. Thanks again for CyberGhost for sponsoring the video, and let's get back into it. Jessica does bring him whatever he wants to eat, but she says that she doesn't really have a choice, because if she doesn't bring it, JT will just order it anyway.
I worry about JT a lot, about his condition and weight and everything, and how much he eats, because since I've met JT, he has gained weight. I think when we first started dating, he could do more. Now I would say pretty much everything JT does, I see him struggle with. I wish there was more I could do to help him, but if I express those worries to JT, he gets very upset, especially when I try to influence JT's eating habits in any way. So I end up bringing home the fast food and getting what he wants from the store because they don't want JT to be mad at me. So I just do whatever he wants.
While Jessica does enable him, I don't think she is as much to blame, as JT would still make sure he ate as much and when he wants, with or without her help. She tries to encourage him to lose weight and change his lifestyle, but it's impossible to change someone's mind if they just don't want to do it themselves. JT didn't always have a problem with food, as he was always a healthy weight when he was younger, but when his parents got addicted to drugs, things started to spiral out of control.
The biggest one being that I didn't realize that my parents started doing drugs. And as I got older, their habit got worse. They got into harder stuff.
Instead of buying things like clothes and food, my parents would use the money to buy drugs and alcohol and cocaine, ecstasy, shroom. Meth was a big problem.
So we started to struggle even more financially. And my whole family situation changed. Things just got a lot harder and lonelier, because me and my siblings were kind of on our own and had to start to fend for ourselves.
In school, JT's weight started to become a huge problem as he was too big to sit in a normal chair and desk. Instead, his teacher made him sit right at the front without a desk, where everyone would just stare at him and he felt he was on display like an animal in a zoo. Instead of making friends, he just ate food and the weight kept piling on.
So I was up around 450 then. But at that age, my family started to become a lot more responsibility for me, because as the oldest, I kind of had to start becoming the leader of the family and take care of everyone, since our parents weren't taking care of us. And I was old enough to get a job, so I became the man of the house. I got a job at a fast food place, so I can earn a paycheck and keep eating all day.
I'd go to school from 7 until 3. Have to go to work from about 3 p.m. to about 3 a.m. and then have to be back up at 7 a.m. for school.
And I made what we needed, but the stress of it all was hard. to do school and work like that. And I started to get really depressed, and that just made me want to eat more. And by the time I was 18 and graduated high school, I'd crossed well over into the 500s.
He clearly had a lot of pressure on him for a young age, and without getting much support from his parents, he just turned to food to cope. And that's what's really driven him to his current habits, is just after he's had a huge breakfast, he's eaten 3 large McDonald's meals all by himself. Each quarter-pounder meal comes to at least 1,200 calories, and if we're including the full sugar Coke too, this meal is nearly 4,000 calories. It's like that JT got this habit from working in a fast food restaurant, as he got whatever food he wanted for free, so he just ate what he wanted. When he worked at a pizza takeaway, he would eat 4 to 5 large pepperoni pizzas all to himself over the course of a shift. The weight gain happened fast because of all of these extra calories, and by the time he was just 22 years old, JT weighed over 600 pounds. This was also when JT's lymphedema mass started to appear, and doctors told him that it would only get worse if he didn't start lose weight quickly, but he just ignored the doctors and kept on gaining. JT's weight kept climbing until one day he couldn't even go to work anymore.
To where when I turned 25, I had to completely stop working because I couldn't physically do it anymore. I went on disability. I'm guessing I was around 700 pounds then. Since I couldn't take care of my family anymore, the one thing I didn't want to do is become more of a financial burden to them. So I started living on my own, doing nothing really but eating all day alone. But the loneliness didn't help my depression. I got a dog named Bella to try to help, but nothing does for me what food does. So my eating has never slowed down, to where now I don't know how much I weigh. All I know is it's gotten to be too hard to do most everything. If it wasn't for Jessica in my life, I don't know what I'd do or how I'd survive.
He can't do much of anything for his size, and he can never get comfortable because the weight is just always pulling on his skin. Even when he sleeps, he has to position himself sitting with a pillow on the wall. Doctors have said that JT would be dead at 30 because his heart simply wouldn't be able to support him anymore, and it would eventually just give out. And now JT is 32 years old, but he's living on borrowed time. His girlfriend Jessica has pushed him to see doctor now as a lifeline, as he's pretty much just out of all other options. The major hurdle now is getting JT there, as he can't fit in a normal car.
I'm super grateful Jess is coming with me on the trip.
There'd obviously be no way I can do this without her getting in the car and driving me there. I just hope it goes well, but I have to make sure that I can even fit in the back of the vehicle.
Bring it through the side door.
Okay.
I'm glad I can fit, but it's still tight and I'm really uncomfortable.
Well, let me spread it out.
Wanna hold the pillows?
Yeah, I think I'm ready.
Even though I can fit, I'm worried if I hit my breaking point, it'll be somewhere on the road. And that's possibly scary because it's a life and death situation for me.
Now imagine the sheer size of JT to fill an entire boot of an SUV with the seats down. He's literally ginormous. Because he's so uncomfortable, they can only travel for 2 hours before JT gives up and wants food and his hotel.
But so far we've only gone 2 hours in an 8-hour drive.
Can I get 2 of the beef and cheddars?
So that's not nearly as far as I was hoping. And I'm a little disappointed in myself for that.
When they get to the hotel, his temper starts to show as he becomes really annoyed with Jessica for basically no reason.
I only have 2 days until my appointment with Dr. Now. So whatever it takes, I have to go longer for tomorrow. But this was a lot harder than I expected. And I'm just at my limit. And I'm hoping that if I get some solid rest and eat, that I'll be ready again tomorrow.
But when they get to the hotel, JT's unsure if the bed will even be able to support his weight.
I just really hope the beds are good and that they can hold me, because my legs are about to give out.
I don't know if this is stable for me to sit on. I'm not trying to be on the floor.
We'll try to sit on it.
What is that on? Oh,
And like sit down slowly.
there's no slowly. Oh. It's hot. Okay.
His lymphedema mass restricts his movement so much as he can barely use the leg it's attached to. He kind of just has to fling himself back and hope the bed will hold him because he can barely support his own weight. And he needs to get as comfy as soon as possible as he can't wait to eat any longer. It really irritates me how many of the patients on My 16 Pound Life eat loads of takeaway food on the way down to see a doctor now. They always complain that they don't have any other choice on the road, but they do. They could have some meal prepped food, or they could just pick food that's a little bit healthier. Just because the hungry on the road doesn't mean they need to get massive burger meals. JT could also just eat less of the big meals, and that would be a massive change, but he just still can't control himself. Somehow he does make it to Houston though 2 days later and gets weighed in for the first time in years. The last time JT knew his weight, he was over 600 pounds, but like we said in the intro, we know he's now a lot heavier.
I know I'm over 600 pounds and probably over 700 too. I just hope my weight's not a lot higher than that.
892.
With JT being nearly 900 pounds, he's one of the heaviest patients ever to feature on the show, and probably one of the heaviest men alive. Truth be told, it's amazing that he can still walk, especially considering the lymphedema mass on his leg. Because he's nearly 900 pounds, if he sticks to Dr. Now's diet, he should be able to lose 150 pounds in 2 months, which is obviously a massive amount of weight. That's if he sticks to it though, because Dr. Now also points out that Jessica also has a weight problem, so she also needs to work on the food she's bringing JT as she's eating it too.
So, who else is in your household beside you?
Just Jess.
And you two are dating, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Since he's not that mobile, you're bringing him all the food he wants,
Yes.
and you have weight problem, and he has
Yeah.
a weight problem. So that's a bad combination.
Yeah,
no?
it is.
Yes.
So this is going to take both of you to make the changes to be successful,
Yeah.
okay? But Julius, if you stick to this diet, you should be able to easily lose 150 pounds over the next 2 months. Okay? And if you do that, then we'll consider you for weight loss surgery.
When Dr. Now and Jessica arrive home a few days later, JT takes a turn for the worse, as the journey to Houston was too much for his body.
Like I'm gonna throw up just every 2 seconds.
You need the bag?
Yeah, I might.
Okay.
I was scared of being in the car for as long as I was. I'd pushed my body too hard, and that something really bad has happened. So Jessica called Dr. Now, and he told her I need to get to the hospital now because he's worried it could be from an infection with my lymphedema. And he said if it is, it could be really bad. So he wants us to go now. So Jess went to go make another minivan rental, and she's gonna take me in that. But I don't know if I'm gonna be able to handle being in the car when I feel this bad. I'm just really scared, and I'm hoping something isn't really wrong because I feel like I'm dying.
You be okay getting in the van?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
It must be awful to have to go 3 days in the car to see Dr. Now, then 3 days back, only to have to rush to the hospital in the back of the car again. He's clearly unwell, and having to do a car ride when you're throwing up is probably torture. But this shows just how debilitating his weight is, as he can't do normal things. And it should serve as a reminder for everyone just to stay at a healthy weight for as long as you can. Thankfully, it turned out to just be food poisoning, but the car ride really inflamed his lymphedema to the point where it's now infected. JT really needs to stick to the diet and lose the weight quickly, otherwise the infection will just get worse. But to be honest, based on what he's eaten, it doesn't look like he's stayed on track at all.
But me and Jessica are also changing our diets to Dr. Now, and I'm working really hard to lose weight. I just hope that I make enough progress by my next appointment. Because with everything that's happened this past month, I know I have to get help now more than ever. We're even working on moving to Houston next month, like Dr. Now said.
His portions look massive and he's eating what looks like bacon, which definitely won't be in the diet plan. To be honest, I'm not confident that he'll have lost much weight when he goes back to see Dr. Now, and when he does, things don't exactly go to plan, as JT's rental car breaks down on the way there and he ends up needing medical transport to make it the rest of the way to see Dr. Now. And when Dr. Now sees his condition, he's pretty concerned.
Having any pain right now?
Yeah. The whole problem from my hips and my back down is just...
Well, this mass is very heavy and putting a lot of strain in your back and on your knee and hip.
Yeah.
And we got to get this mass off. But to do that, we need to get your weight down.
Yeah.
It's a matter of life and death for you because you can't keep going like this.
Yeah.
I know.
Okay. All right. Let me check your leg and your lymphedema.
And aside from the lymphedema, Dr. Now thinks JT's only lost about 20 to 30 pounds, nowhere near the 75 he should have lost in a month.
It's going to be very hard to deal with this. So we need to aggressively work with your weight, think of removing this mass.
Yeah.
But there's a good chance you wouldn't survive another few months if we let you continue like you have been. So after we run our test, if there's nothing we need to address immediately, we may start you on a controlled diet here to help you with that, since you don't look to have lost much weight. 20 to 30 pounds at best. So your situation is very serious right now, because if your lymphedema gets infected, it's going to be very hard to treat it with antibiotic, and it can get in the bloodstream. And at that point, you likely won't survive, okay? So this is a dangerous situation to have, and you need to be very proactive to take care of it right now, okay?
JT just can't be trusted to lose weight on his own, and Dr. Now doesn't want to see him die, obviously, so he keeps him in the hospital on a controlled diet, where Dr. Now can see exactly what he eats and when he eats. The only danger is what we've seen before, where Jessica might bring him food that she shouldn't. The controlled diets at hospital have a very high success rate, so just can't be tempted with food from the outside, because they only get what the hospital gives them. Patients have lost record-breaking amounts in hospital, often losing over £100 a month. And this is exactly what JT needs to save his life, and to get him in a position where he can continue to lose weight at home too. And a lot of the time in the hospital, they'll learn what the portion sizes they need are, because at home, it's just so easy to pile on more food. While in hospital, JT and Jessica's relationship, though, is on the rocks. Jessica has spent so much time looking after JT that she's clearly got a bit sick and isn't sure if she wants to even be with him anymore.
But earlier today, Jessica told me she doesn't want to stay down here with me right now, and that she wants to go back to Oklahoma, which I guess basically means we're breaking up. I don't know. So just when I thought things couldn't go off the tracks even more, that was another thing that blindsided me. And then to top it all off, the food here is horrible. And I'm not allowed any compromises. So I don't have anything to calm me down or help me deal with all of this. And with nothing to help me deal, my stress level and anxiety just keep getting worse. I'm really, really struggling.
Honestly, Jessica leaving to go back to Oklahoma could be good for JT, as there's no chance that she could sneak food in there for him, and he would have a better chance at losing the weight from the controlled diet alone. However, he's complaining so much for someone who literally will die unless he makes this change, and it's not surprising that Jessica wants to get away from it.
I feel like he just needs me around just to help him, not to be like in a relationship. He gets mad whenever I cry or want to talk about things because he doesn't want to talk about them. It makes me feel like I have to bottle everything up. I love JT a lot, and that's what makes it hard.
How you feel about me leaving?
Stressed. I told you, this ain't gonna be easy. This is gonna be literally torture. And I'm definitely not gonna be easy to cope with during it.
Well, it comes off to me as you don't care, and
Jessica,
it hurts.
Well, I'm sorry, but you knew this when you got into it. I literally told you on day one.
Plans change, I guess.
I just want to stay in Oklahoma.
I can't even believe this, because it's just one thing after another. When you get frustrated and mad, you just bolt. It's like, you want to talk about a relationship?
If it's not going to work, then what's the point?
Fine, then just go.
Can't do this.
I can't believe all of this is happening. In a matter of a few days, I pretty much lost my home, my car, and my girlfriend. And my dog for now, because I can't go back and get Bella. It's like my whole life is falling apart right when I'm trying to save it. And all I want to do right now is eat, but I can't even do that. So none of this is fair at all, not in any way.
While Jessica doesn't have much of a personality, to be honest, she's clearly helped JT massively, and he wouldn't be able to exist without her, so he really shouldn't be complaining. It's clear he only sees her as his caretaker, so to be honest, I'm quite glad she's left for her sake. After Jessica left, JT stayed at the hospital and saw a lot of success thanks to the diet.
The day after he first arrived here at the hospital, we checked his weight and he was only down to 884 pounds. So in 2 months on his own, he only lost 8 pounds. But in the month we had him here, on a 1200 calorie a day controlled diet, we have gotten him to lose 126 pounds to get him down to 758. And his lymphedema has improved some, because it's getting smaller. So now what we can do is send him to rehab, which will help him get his stamina up, but won't have the same controlled diet. So we can start to see how he's gonna do on his own.
As Jessica's gone, JT has nowhere to go, so Dr. Now sends him to a rehab center to lose the rest of the weight until he can continue on his own. But he's miserable. Without the food, JT thinks he has no reason to be happy at all.
Been here in Houston in this rehab facility for another month, and it's been almost as miserable as the first month in the hospital. The only good thing has been there's just a little bit more freedom here, but it's been really lonely. My cousin had to go back a few days after I got here, and I haven't heard much from Jessica, not that I want to. So I've just been focusing on trying to make the progress Dr. Now wants so I can get out of here soon. But so far, that hasn't happened.
Despite living in rehab and on a controlled diet, JT is still able to order takeaways, and the staff can't take the food off of him, so he's fallen behind on his diet, totally disregarding the fact that he's lost over 100 pounds in hospital. I always find it surprising when the hospital can't just turn away food. Like, they're in a rehab unit. Surely there's some sort of protective measures they can put in to stop them from just gaining weight in there. Anyway, JT is putting in no effort, complaining at every opportunity and not doing any of the physical exercises that the staff ask him to do. As he's completely undoing all of his progress, Dr. Now comes to see JT to try and get through to him.
How are you today?
Doing okay.
So, how are you getting along?
Okay, I guess, but I feel like I'll be better when I'm out.
Yeah, you've been here for 2 months and it doesn't seem like you have lost any weight.
No, I haven't.
What's the point of coming down here and not doing diet?
Guess I'm not sure.
Just check your weight and see.
Okay.
And honestly, JT acts too smug here, almost like it's funny. He's just wasting everyone's time at this point. If he doesn't want to lose the weight, he should just go home and give his place to someone who actually wants it. In the month at the rehab, JT loses just 10 pounds. To put that into some perspective, when JT was at the hospital, he lost over 100 pounds in 1 month. JT must be ordering fast food at least once a day for him to only lose that amount. When Dr. Now confronts him on this, his attitude is really shocking.
748, huh?
Well, actually, I did lose weight. And I haven't gained any weight since I've been here.
You know, when you're 700 pounds, if you stick with the 1200-calorie diet, how much you're gonna lose a month?
I have no idea.
100 pounds.
Yeah, I did that last month like you said.
You should have done it again.
That's just according to you.
What do you mean? What are you trying to tell me?
My mental state, me not being in a mental state, me being stressed out, makes me eat, makes me want to eat. That's me being here. I'm assuming that if I would have went back home, I'd have been losing that weight and we'd be having surgery and a completely different conversation than this.
You're not making any sense. No matter you're in Houston or Oklahoma or Timbuktu, nothing justified to be unhealthy and give you all that rhetoric that I didn't follow that because I wasn't planning to be in here.
Okay.
Really? I mean, this is your life. This is your health.
Okay.
And you are responsible for it, and we're giving you help and tools to change your life and be healthy, and you're making all kind of nonsense reason not to follow diet, right? Make sense?
Sure.
It does?
Yes.
To you?
Yes.
Okay. There's no hope for you. You're gonna kill yourself young,
Okay.
okay?
Noted.
You gain the weight back and become immobile, then your health is gonna go down the tube and you're not gonna survive. You're killing yourself with the food. Which part of that is so hard to understand? No matter where you are responsible for your eating habit. You are responsible to improve your life and your health. Don't make those excuses that are acceptable to you to not follow the diet because the floor was crooked, the light was not good, the bed was not good, I was not playing me here, so I'm gonna kill myself with food.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
All right? You understand all that?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go back to your room.
He makes so many excuses, all with a smirk on his face, as to why he couldn't lose the weight. But the reality is that he just couldn't stop himself from ordering pizzas. Dr. Now gives JT one final chance to stay in the program, otherwise he'll be removed for good and his smile will be wiped off his face. JT has to lose 80 pounds in 1 month or he will have to leave the rehab centre and find somewhere else to live, and without Jessica to help him, that will be near impossible. And thankfully this works, as JT does hit the weight loss goal a month later and moves into a halfway house, somewhere between rehab and his own private apartment. But that's not all, as JT is still too heavy to undergo weight loss surgery without major risks. So Dr. Now gives JT another month to lose 75 pounds completely on his own to qualify for the surgery. And this will prove to Dr. Now that JT has finally changed his attitude and can lose weight without any help. And at his next appointment, we'll see if JT actually stuck to the program when he gets on the scales.
2 months ago, I was down to 671, and I needed to lose 75 pounds by today. So if I did, I'll be under 596. That's a little disappointing. I'm happy I'm losing, but I worked really hard, so I expected that number to be lower, and I'm a little upset that it's not. I'm also worried about what Dr. Now's gonna tell me, because I didn't lose enough, and I'm scared about what's gonna happen now.
Now, it's not completely awful. It's 20 pounds less than what Dr. Now asked him to lose, but it still shows that JT is giving into his cravings a lot and not totally sticking to the diet. However, despite not hitting the goal, Dr. Now sees that JT is moving in the right direction, so schedules him for weight loss in 2 months so that JT has extra time to lose the weight. 2 months later, JT finally gets his surgery and makes some great progress afterwards. Because he doesn't have anyone to support him post-surgery, Dr. Now keeps him in the hospital where he can be looked after. But it also means that it's much harder for JT to sneak in any extra food.
Hi, JT.
Hello.
How you feeling today?
Doing okay?
All right, so ready to go home?
Yes, sir.
Well, let's see where your weight is at, and then we can get you on your way, okay?
Okay.
Let me bring the scale and we check your weight. Okay, 519. So you lost another 52 pounds this past month. So that's great.
By this point, JT has lost over half his body weight, and you can 100% tell the difference. I think Jessica leaving him probably turned out to be best for both of them, as it meant that Jessica could get on with her life and not be a carer, and JT couldn't get as much food as he wanted without her bringing it to him. JT did eventually start to make an effort, but it wasn't until Dr. Now kept him in the hospital and essentially forced him to follow the calorie-controlled diet that he did. By the end of JT's episode, he's slowly continuing with his weight loss and looking forward to eventually getting below 200 pounds, and he's finally able to wear some new clothes too.
And without a car, it's at least a place I can go to feel like I'm enjoying the outdoors. It sounds crazy, but when you're almost 900 pounds, you forget what the sun and wind feel like on your skin. Because you either never go outside anymore, or you do and you're sweating so much, that's all you can feel. So I'm savoring being able to do something like this now. As simple as it is a big deal to me, because it shows me how far I've been able to come in the last year. I had my 2-month post-surgery follow-up with Dr. Now a few days ago, and I'm just barely in the 400s at 491.
During JT's journey, COVID-19 also made an appearance, so having any chance of having his lymphedema mass was delayed. However, 3 years after his first episode, JT finally got it removed, and he's looking like a totally different person now.
I'm back in Houston, and I'm ready for surgery.
Can you take those?
Yeah, if you don't mind. I'm pretty excited. I got my weight, and I'm down to 329. I lost 28 pounds, and Doc says he's happy with that. So he's doing my surgery today.
Hey, JT.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing good, you?
Well, it looks like you lost some more weight.
Yeah.
All right, great. So we're gonna go ahead and today get the mass off of your leg, and that's gonna make a huge difference in your body contour, and you're gonna be able to walk. So you're gonna have to get adjusted because now you're swinging this leg more than the other one to walk, but then after surgery you won't have that weight on it, so you have to adjust your walking. And after surgery, you're gonna be able to get the better clothing and be able to wear regular pants. All those things is going to make a big difference. All right? Mm-hmm. So we get started shortly, and this is the last time you're gonna see this mass.
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty excited about that.
Okay.
Once removed, the mass weighed over 80 pounds, around 60 pounds of fat and another 20 of fluid. Imagine carrying next to 80 pounds on your leg. That would be intense for anyone, let alone someone who already weighed nearly 900 pounds.
After surgery, when I woke up, I was pretty mind blown. At first, it felt like a dream. Felt like it wasn't real.
You're moving better.
Yeah. They told me that the mass was about 65 pounds in weight. Can't believe it's finally gone after 15 years.
It just feels so weird. I'm used to that mask being there.
That part it is over. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, just roll the walker. Good job.
When I first got out of anesthesia and that wore off, I really wanted to get up and I really wanted to move around. Leg feels a lot lighter than before. I don't remember not having the mask because it's been so long, so it's really, really incredible not to have it there anymore.
Never
You like turning around or?
I'm fine. I keep going. I won't sit down.
Doing good.
Dr. Now says that I should take it slow, that there's a lot of swelling still there, that I should just take my time and go slow with the recovery and be patient.
I think we're gonna progress to no walker later on today. How about that?
I'm really, really excited to start doing new things and doing things that I wasn't able to do before, like ride a bike, drive a car, something like that. Just small things, go to an amusement park. I've never really been able to do things like that.
And just put it into some perspective. Next time you go to the gym, try and find a 45-pound weight and just try and carry that around. He was carrying around double that just on one leg. JT took a very long time to get on board with his journey, as for the most part, he didn't seem to care if he lived or died. And honestly, it's really thanks to Dr. Now for giving him a second chance and allowing him to prove himself that he managed to pull himself around and lose the weight for good. Now, JT isn't active on social media, unfortunately, but I'd like to think that since having his lymphedema mass removed, he's been able to get more active and continue with his weight loss. Now, don't forget to click on the link in the description to get your special discount for CyberGhost VPN too. CyberGhost will protect your data while you browse and give you full access to all blocked content on the internet for only $2.03 a month. Now, if you want to see someone else who struggled in the beginning, click the video that's on your screen now to see Joe Wexler's story and his totally amazing weight loss.